Fantastic match. We've got one more for you tonight. This time we move up to gold. It's Skrewwl00se versus Hunu. And these players are both kind of cold. Skrewwl00se, I think it's his first match of this cycle. Hunu, it's their second.
And I don't know if they've been playing any recent tournaments. I think probably the most recent tournament for either of them was Winter Cup. So it's been a while. Maybe Hunu was playing in Hex Cup. I'm not certain.
Maybe.
Let me just get this draft up in a moment here.
So, it looks like Skrewwl00se opts to pick first, and Skrewwl00se picks first, and spies first. So,
okay, let's see if that's...
Hunu is going to be the first one on sniper side.
All right, yeah. So we do have for Hunu sniping first, and okay. So here's our draft. It is going to be Hunu. Skrewwl00se banning high rise. Famously does not like this venue. Hunu's going to be banning redwoods. Skrewwl00se restricts terrace. Hunu restricts aquarium, and then for our doubles, Skrew's going to pick up library in the double, and again, we love to see it. It's a double ballroom from Hunu.
Hell yes.
And then aquarium single, picking on that restrict. We've talked about this a lot.
So remember the two venues we identified as either get picked or banned,
and they've been restricted instead. Aquarium and balcony from the last match. Aquarium, of course, this is picking on a little bit the restrict from Hunu. It's a very interesting draft strategy of if you want to restrict something that you actually don't want to play, or if you want to restrict something to like bait your opponent into picking it. Because if your opponent sees your restrict and is like, oh, so you don't want to play that venue, right? Ah, fine, I'll pick it. You might be able to bait them into into making a decision that benefits you, but that is, of course, going to leave open something that maybe you don't like as much. And then Hunu picking balcony, which is very interesting, especially as a single. I usually would consider balcony more of kind of a double venue, because I feel fairly confident in my balcony play, but it is a bit more soft and fuzzy in terms of, pressing your advantage. The better player is going to win. If in regular SpyParty, the better player is going to win 70% of the time. On balcony, it's like 60%.
So that's the draft as it stands. Double library, double ballroom, into aquarium, into balcony. Starting things off with Skrewwl00se on the spy, Hunu on the sniper, on library. Let's get this second match underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Do you just like saying Hunu twice in a row?
Yes.
Who knew it's Hunu? Who is new? Do you know, Tubbo?
I mean, there are like 5 characters that are theoretically new, but considering, honestly, no one here is really new.
We know who here is old, and that's
been
Toby.
a while since we've got a batch of characters.
We know who here is old, and that is Toby and Damon. They are...
Indeed. They are definitely not new. Slow start from Skrewwl00se, by the way. You can sort of make up for that on this venue, but by this point, you've got to start chugging along.
Indeed, you do. Skrewwl00se, maybe looking for Perlin kind of behind pillar here. We are getting offered, and on the other side, we don't go for it. It's just going to be an innocent reject.
Honestly, that's like the least innocent reject.
I mean, it would be less innocent if it had a Perlin attached to it, certainly, but it is a very suspicious spot to be rejecting from. That is for sure.
So an agonizingly slow start for the first game from Skrewwl00se here. Are we really going to chase the selection target all the way over to this bust? We are. It's going to be 51% on the flirt, but there's 3 people here. What is happening? Bug?
That is indeed a bug. It's off screen.
Across, off camera, completely clean.
Yeah, a little bit of a lapse there in terms of covering that from Hunu. When you have people on the left of the Ambassador like that, they have good reason to pass right by the Ambassador. You have to be watching for that, but Hunu, this time, not. So Skrewwl gets away with a pretty clean bug there, but you still need 3.5 more missions.
Yeah, just caught Hunu on a rotation there, but man, Skrewwl00se is not spying at pace right now.
Yeah, and with 2 minutes 25 on the clock, it is still reasonable to do kind of like a late rush on your own terms, but at some point it does get to be the point like a 1 minute 30 seconds. If we had this progress, I would be much more worried. But in this case, Skreww's picking up a print off of the blue bookcases here, and Ambassador's leaving one on the side statue. So I'm kind of envisioning right now finishing flirt, coming back here for a silent game. Like go finish flirt with Smallman now. Get inspects on that side.
Silent game.
Well, you finish silent game with a swap is the thing. It actually takes less time than going for a contact, because we get flirt here. We go to side statues at this set of statues, and then we go to where the Ambassador just was, and inspect, print, swap for a silent game. That's kind of what's happening in my mind right now. But unfortunately, that's going to be really tough to do when we've only hit the white flirt here and it's not too green.
Yeah, indeed. I think we have to go for this statue and take a pit stop back into this conversation and sort of hope the selection target's still there. That's how we're going to finish this if we are going to do it like this. Side statue, we take 1, we take 2, that's 2 greens on the inspect, so only 1 more of those needed. We're going to have to chase the seduction target if we want to finish it up in the way you have described, and I think that is a good way to finish this up. It's certainly quick with only 55 seconds left to play, and you don't need much on this flirt, but we are going to get plenty off of it. Nice and close. There's the contact, so it's not going to be silent. 45 seconds left to play. I think we're trying to dodge this swap, but that statue is very much hot. Here we go. This is going to be the last 2 missions. It's going to be inspect. It's going to be fingerprint.
We're looking for the swap.
Print done.
We need to be able
Does Hunu take a shot at this? It looks like they're looking for a swap, but the swap's not going to come.
You need to put the statue down.
Anyways, and it doesn't look like they're going to. Skrewwl00se gets this done. Just as Hunu thinks they're safe, gets a look at the statue, a sigh of relief, and then an immediate loss as Skrewwl00se picks up game number 1 in fairly dramatic fashion.
I think that it's a big mistake not to put down this statue on the first cycle.
I agree.
Because a lot of snipers there, just for not being able to see the statue for that long, you're a bit suspicious. You kind of gone statue to statue very quickly. You just were in for real contact. You need to put down that statue and tell them, hey, that's not a swap. Instead, Skrewwl holds on to the statue for longer, and that might have baited the shot out just for the assumed swap, and that could have been disastrous for Skrewwl00se there. I do think that the fact that we took the contact is totally fine here, especially since we were going to join that conversation anyways, having gotten our flirt. So that kind of does reduce the importance of that silent game, you know, how fast you can do it. So nicely done from Skrewwl00se in the end there, but wow, that definitely should have put it on after that first cycle. That was a little scarier than it needed to be.
It's a weird situation where it's like you either want to do the silent game or put the statue down sooner.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to put the statue down sooner regardless. But the silent game is at that point.
Well, what I mean is, you have a swap.
Right. I suppose that's true. If you actually are swapping behind there, you want to keep it in your hands as long as possible. Yeah. But yeah.
Either way, it worked out for Skrewwl00se. Let's see what they can do on the sniper side now on Library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pretty long AI control here from Hunu. finally taking control as we bounce around this conversation, and we're gonna go to an innocent conversation. We did not even really look around for ST, but hey, look at that. Wheels is right nearby.
Nice to have the seduction target roll on in like that. First flirt. One of the rare non-green first flirts of the night. So that's 34% off the first one.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of first green flirts, but not many 2 flirts total.
That is true as well. It looks like Hunu is probably going to just hang around for hang around for a timer flirt, and Skrewwl00se sees what's happening.
Okay, I think this might be a speculative type highlight where it's like whoever leaves first is more suspicious, and the other one might get a low light or just a neutral light, and it's just too, like it's kind of a okay, which one moves first? And it's a mental thing. It also, of course, could be a flirt pair, and Wheels moves first. So I'm, I of course could be wrong. I don't know exactly what's going on in Skrewwl00se's head, but that is the kind of thing that looks like to me personally, because we are waiting in this empty conversation now, and that looks pretty unspy-like, pretty AI-like to just be sitting in a conversation with one other character, and then they leave first. Spies don't like to wait around that long very often.
Hunu was able to get that flirt off just before the seduction target bailed, though. So back in we go. Ooh. Oh, no, it's 3 whites, and wasn't quite able to get close enough to get that flirt done in 3. So it's 98%, which is just sad.
Yeah, and if this is a flirt pair highlight, now we look really bad, because our ST left, and then we just ran straight back to them.
I am a little bit shocked Skrewwl00se is doing flirt pairing on this venue, and I'm also a little bit shocked that Hunu has brought it down to 2.5 minutes left to play without doing anything but flirts.
We must be doing a purloin here. I mean, but look at how
you have to, right? You don't have time. Well, I mean, he's staring directly at it. He took it anyways. List is gone.
Wait, Screw didn't see that the list was gone? No, never mind.
I think he did. I think he's just going on a massive low lighting spree.
Yeah, I thought that he, checked the list, thought it was still there, and then went off to watch something else, but no, Screw is just low lighting. And now it's actually down to us and our ST.
This game has not gone according to plan from the Spy side. No. It just hasn't.
Not at all. This is a brutal spot to be in. You've basically got no way to win this game. Obviously, you're going to get watched like a hawk for any kind of bug. If you hadn't done this purloin, you might get away with this bug because the ambassador came to you.
Yeah, but also the clock kind of forced you into that purloin. At that point, you didn't have much of a choice. You needed progress so badly.
At this point, we are just waiting. I think Hunu realizes just how much of a dead spy walking they are, and they're just hoping against hope for anything else. Anything. We're going to do a fake here.
Oh, Wrestler in chat saying that the reason for that double highlight with Wheels was because of the no talk.
We get brought down for the fake compared to Wheels, but it's just so unlikely that Wheels actually does anything enough to get shot. Yeah. Wheels would have to go to center inspects here, right now.
Yeah. It was a nice little move from Hunu, but...
Skrewwl00se is confirming that it is indeed a no-talk highlight.
He's briefcasing. Which is, that's a print, but you're gonna need to... That was a bug attempt, and it didn't take.
It was behind.
It was an attempt. I don't know why it was an attempt. We're not gonna finish missions here.
Yeah, I think it's all over for Hunu here, and you've got nothing going on. I mean,
this game is just kind of sad.
Maybe at some point you need. Okay, this is a timeout. Oh, Wheels is at books. I think we're.
Oh, that was in the beep beeps too. That game was just so sad.
We just felt so dead for so long in that game. Skrewwl00se very nicely caught no talk. Apparently, I'm impressed because that's not something you really catch on the library, especially on a relatively quiet part of the venue. There's a lot going on. So well done from Screw, and goes up 2-0 to start the match. Where have we heard that before? Will we make it 4 on Skrewwl00se's venue? Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Skrewwl00se back on the spy side once more in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Orthodox start into conversation with the seduction target. It's a green test for 46% because the conversation was a little bit too full to get closer. Contact immediately after because he happens to be in that conversation, and there's 3 lowlights.
Come on, you can take that low light. Who knew? Yeah, okay. Going for a little bit of a rush here, but rushing library is very difficult, especially when you don't have the potential for a 2-flirt.
It is, but like it's kind of happening. Into center statues we go, so that's going to be 3 inspects tucked away just like that. So we've got the contact done, we've got the inspect done, we've got 46% on the flirt, and at this point in the game, I think Hunu had a flirt.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And that's it?
Well, the problem is I'm not sure that I'm super happy committing to these aggressive soft tells when we don't have the hard tells to back it up. We've got a lot of progress really early. And sure, if you can like kind of lay low for a little bit, let other suspects kind of accumulate during this game, it's going to be pretty beneficial to have these done so quickly. But at the same time, bug, the ambassador.
That was I am surprised that didn't take.
Yeah, it was a walking bug, so the range was much lower, but we are in range for a standing bug, which we do go for. Does Hunu see it? I don't think so.
That was so bold! That was so bold, but I think it was completely clean.
Yeah, I don't think Hunu saw that, and it's just so hard to play, to watch those bugs, because the ambassador came to the spy. It's not like the spy setting up there. The ambassador came to them, Skrewwl00se waited a little while before doing the standing bug, and on library especially, where you have to be covering all three quadrants? No, all 3... What do we call those? All 3 slices of library. When
I like slices.
When you have to cover so much and so much is off screen at any given time, it's so hard to cover that bug for the entirety of the time that can get standing bug, but it can be so important when you've got someone who's got early statues like that.
Skrewwl00se has slowed way down here after picking up that bug. This is going to be our second flirt for the evening. It's another, well, it's a white rather, after the first green, brings up to 80%. So pretty much anything but the worst of flirts will finish this up for Skrewwl00se at this point. So you don't have to be too picky about positioning later on. We are down to 1 minute and 45, but all we need is 1 more flirt and 1 more mission.
What is that last mission?
Problem is, the missions left are transfer, swap, purloin, and fingerprint. They don't have a print to lean on.
They're either pretty slow or they leave a trace, and it's something that the sniper's gonna be watching pretty heavily in the end game. I wouldn't be surprised to see Screw take a green, go for a green purloin here. It's gonna be green. No, it's gonna be white dust.
It's gonna be white. It is a purloin, but it's gonna be white. But Hunu didn't get a good look at it. Now I think he may have.
Yeah, just 1 more flirt.
No, I don't think he looked at it.
Oh no.
I don't think he's seen the list gone.
Yeah, missing it for this long means I think Screw is pretty much guaranteed to win this game. Like, finally we see it, and we're completely unsure. Even if you see Kane with a drink, there's a lot of spies with it. There's a lot of AIs with a drink here, right? It's how do you shoot for 1 more flirt?
I don't think you do. I think.
We gotta go get our flirt now.
Getting that purloin clean, I think that was the end of the game.
Yeah,
I don't think Hunu has a way back into this unless something truly tragic happens. But
we are far away
into conversation.
This is far away.
Might not be in range.
Okay.
But he did hit it.
We hit the green. That was dicey. That might have been a white flirt for 17% and cry.
I know. It could have been such that could have been the disaster I was talking about, but it didn't happen. He hit the green.
I mean, if you would like,
why did that have to be so stressful?
Oh man, if Skrewwl00se had hit a white, like Skrewwl has a pretty good green rate, but if Skrewwl00se had hit in a white test there and lost this game because of it, I would have gone insane.
Yeah, yeah, that is a pretty good descriptor. I almost went insane anyways. But Skrewwl00se, 3 in a row on his doubled venue. Where have we seen this before?
Oh yeah, it could be another one. You know, we're sniping Library for another iteration of that 4-0 on their own double venue to start off the match. That would be a good omen for Skrewwl00se, that's for sure. But can Skrewwl00se snipe Hunu's red dress?
In 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is... That was an attempted... That was...
Oh, it's a second one! Oh no!
What are you doing? It's like the ambassador's bodyguard or something like that, diving in the way of the bug. That was awesome. Not for Hunu, mind you, but it was very entertaining.
And we're gonna head on into blue bookcases here with RST. We haven't seen Spies really trying to do microphone. We had that one game. Oh, this is, by the way, case example here of why you flirt before taking out the book. It is legal. It's spy-like, but it's legal. It's just within the bounds of legality to flirt before picking up the book, if you trigger the flirt quick enough. So this is why you do it. At least this is why you do it.
It's so hard to catch that little delay. It's almost not worth taking the more polite route. But section target does wind up stepping away, so we're not able to get that flirt. There is a difficult print still on this briefcase.
We hit it.
We did hit it indeed, so in absence of the flirt, we are able to get a print out of it. In conversation with the double agent now. I'm amazed there hasn't been much work at the bookcases on this venue.
Yeah, it is called Library. You might expect a little bit more book action, but we were just there for a flirt. We put it back. We didn't even get the flirt. So, nothing there.
And there usually is some action with the books on this venue, whether it be direct transfers or animation transfers.
Direct transfer.
Usually there's something you can do with that, but both players sort of avoiding it on this venue tonight.
That is
Contact is done. We've got 4 lowlights out of it. Still no flirts to our name. What a weird game.
Yeah, I mean, Hunu's definitely behind. You need to start picking up the pace on flirt. Excuse me.
Picking up the flirt and the pace.
Indeed. What do we do from here? I mean, obviously we're going for Prince. I think that perhaps we should have taken out that blue book when we had a chance.
I don't know if we're gonna get to this conversation in
She
time.
reads.
Oh,
she reads. Oh, what?
No! That's so cruel!
Pearls!
Why are you like this?
Oh,
Into center statues we go.
Aries?
This game, man!
Fingerprintable statue, okay. That's pretty good. We still need a hardtail after this is the problem.
This is balcony timing on flirt now. We've got to fly if we want to get this flirt done. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
And now we're a highlight, and we need another hardtail, and we need 100% of our flirt still to go with 130.
Minute and 30 to play, by the way. Alright, here's our first flirt of the game. We've had many attempts, but this is the first successful one, and it's white for 33%. This is not a good situation.
Yeah, Hunu's green rate has not been quite what Skrewwl00se's has been, and we're definitely falling behind here. Maybe a bug would be something to find.
Bump up against the ambassador there, did not hit the right click, but was an excuse to get back to another flirt very far away. Green test only brings us up to 61%, so we are going to need another green flirt. 45 to play. We need a hardtail and a green flirt.
This is This is disaster for Hunu. I mean, it's not impossible to win this game. There's still enough suspects that you're not dead to rights, but you're down to 30 seconds. You need to get this flirt. Pearls has kindly come back to us, though. We need to hit the green. We don't!
No, it's not green. 95.
Wrong arm bug. Wrong arm. No.
20 seconds.
What?
We need a bug, and then we need to turn around and flirt.
We had a chance for wrong arm bug with the ambassador at the windows
14
there.
seconds. We have been next to this person like 8 times this game.
So we can't even flirt yet.
Left to play.
We can't. What are we doing? Why? What? This is not helping.
I think that was probably action priorities.
I have to believe that was panic, because it definitely wasn't action priorities, because we didn't even have the option to flirt at that point. We'd been there for a while. I think Hunu was just panicking or giving up on that game. And that is
maybe they were like trying to time it. So,
but
as
it doesn't help.
The cooldown expired, they hit the button, but didn't get a good enough read on the cooldown bar and everything. Well, whatever happened, everything went to hell in a handbasket, and the Skrewwl00se has swept their double.
Yeah, we've seen that before, and now we are on to Ballroom, which, you know, Ballroom was the last time we got the sweep, so maybe Hunu brings it back with the new sweep here. But now we have, you know, we have to start by finding a sniper win somewhere.
What a weird game that was. All right, Hunu on the sniper side versus Skrewwl00se Spy on Ballroom in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Starting off with an early side
That's
statue.
A green swap right off the top of the game.
Oh, okay.
You just press the button.
Okay, that's interesting. Now we have to start going.
Not expecting that.
Now we have to start moving. We're gonna go into or get more statues, but this is not fast enough. We need to have like the longer
I mean,
this.
It's not too bad. This is gonna get the inspect done.
Yeah, this could just mean us dead. When you have these early green swaps, you pretty much want to be finishing missions by the time they come off. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Not viable. It's simply not viable. We did get a safety off. So it's down to 2.
Yeah.
It's Skrewwl00se and Smallman. And only one of these people actually has to do missions.
But yeah, Smallman can do missions if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's Smallman, right? Into conversation with the double agent.
Okay.
He immediately dies. So, Hunu on the board. Nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, nice catch from Hunu. It's not something you really expect, so I think some snipers might have slipped up and been like, "Wait a second, what swap?" Right? But Hunu does indeed figure it out and does indeed end up shooting a Skrewwl00se. I think this is far more viable if you've got a bug. Like if you got a chaos bug and you do this. This is a lot more viable because now on this swap you're you like step in with the double agent here and you contact, right? I think that was what Screw was trying to do. I mean, obviously we walked too far and the double agent left. But
I don't know. Green swap as first mission, I just don't think there's a way that makes sense.
Yeah, you have to have a good setup for a rush, and this game was not a good rush setup, unfortunately. You probably want to have the bug first, is the main thing.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, on to the next one. Hulu on the Spy. Now they're on the board. Let's see if they can keep racking it up versus Skrewwl00se's Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. I thought they were going to track down the seduction target off the top of that, but maybe they decided not likely enough that the flirt was going to come off and bailed on it, but I think they probably should have just taken that flirt.
Yeah, given how badly we were having trouble with flirt last game as Spy.
Oh, yes. All right, now into position for this first flirt. White for 34%, but at least it's a flirt early on.
Indeed it is, Tovo.
Double Agent drops in to say hi as well, so that's nice.
It's an okay contact right now. But again, as I keep mentioning, the earlier you take that contact, the more impactful those low lights become over the course of the game. The sniper just has a lot less to look at when you're trying to do your missions, so there's a bigger cost to doing it right now, but we do take it anyway, and we're gonna watch, two low lights happen. One for Smallman, one for Wheels.
That being said, early contacts can kind of throw off a sniper's rhythm.
Potentially. Okay, it
was going to be a timer flirt, but hit the red test, so unfortunately ST just bails on it.
Yeah, who needs to find something going forward here? I mean, it just feels like we're a little bit paralyzed. Are we going for a bug here, perhaps? Oh, we do go for it, and Skrewwl doesn't...
Not a bad bug, but it looked like Skrewwl00se was paying a lot of attention to it.
I think Skrewwl00se was paying attention to Seek's bug potential. At the same time that we were walking past, Seek, a highlight, was walking past.
It doesn't look like he had any reaction to that.
Yeah, and that's something that can be really, really big to get bugs. I have fallen victim to this a lot, and I think I'm pretty good at catching bugs, but when someone who is a bigger suspect passes by at the same time, I'm watching them. I'm not necessarily watching the other people around all the time, like as strenuously as I might otherwise be. And we had good covers over that bug as well, so I think we're completely clean on it, but we're down to a minute, and we only have the one flirt.
Yeah, I think you're right, but good lord, Hunu needs to work on this flirt pacing. 55 seconds. We're still at 34% there as we step into center statue.
We can't inspect swap because we don't have flirt, right? Like that's not something that's gonna happen.
I mean, we can because we have the bug.
Well, yeah, it would be a mission complete, but going flirtless and finishing this late in the game is just handicapping yourself. Or we do go for the swap. It's gonna be a white test.
Well, we're doing it anyways. Not gonna happen. Skrewwl00se is extraordinarily on top of that. As soon as that fade happened, he snapped right on top of Hunu.
I mean, it's basically in Skrewwl00se's eyes. It's like we didn't even have the bug. Like we were basically playing 5 of 8 ballroom there, and we just get shot for it. That's you just need to have better flirt pacing as Hunu here. You need to be playing this a little bit more aggressively, maybe. I am a very big advocate, as many people know, for aggressive flirting. Cheese flirts, going after the ST with what some might call reckless abandon, but that gives you a lot of time, and as we mentioned earlier, time is the death of so many spies.
Yeah. Really, there are 2 schools of thought for flirts. One of them is just do as much as you can, as quick as you can, and get it out of the way. And the other one is learn to keep an eye on your section target throughout the entire game and just sprinkle in a flirt here and flirt there whenever you have a moment between doing your other missions.
Yeah.
Hunu is doing neither of those.
I mean, both those schools of thought can kind of coexist, obviously, but it is you really still need to be getting things done. Timer flirting, I almost can't condone timer flirting in most scenarios. There are some spots where it's totally okay to be timer flirting, especially if you've got progress, if you just are looking for flirts, right? But it can be such a problem, and we've seen it here tonight with Hunu. 2 games that might have otherwise been okay, ruined by the slow flirting. And maybe you know what? I think Hunu might be being overly respectful because Hunu thinks they got caught flirting in the first game of Library.
Maybe, but either way, the good thing about this for Hunu is this is a very easily recognizable and easily remedied problem.
Yeah.
As soon as you see yourself doing this, you can fix it.
All right.
Anyways, Skrewwl00se 5, Hunu 1 is the current scoreline. Hunu on the sniper on Ballroom versus Skrewwl00se Spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Early no flirts. Hopefully, nope. I think Skrewwl00se is not going to follow the path that we saw Hunu do, and we do just go in immediately to here. We could get a little bit unlucky if, yeah, Salmon leaves early.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate, but
that was a really fast leave.
Yeah, that was quite short of a stay for Salmon there at that painting pad. So a bit unfortunate there for Skrewwl00se, but, you know,
Skrewwl00se is very experienced player, though. They are not going to fall into this no flirt trap.
Speaking of, our ST does, you know, we get unlucky in one way over our ST, but then it balances out. Our ST does come back to us. Skrewwl probably
make it up to us.
I mean, Skrewwl probably would have preferred the other flirt because it would have been a 51%, but this time around, 44 is not so bad.
Yeah, you'll take that. It wasn't as quick as it could have been, but you will absolutely take that.
Okay, well, we are a minute and 15 seconds in here.
Yeah, Skrewwl00se is looking like they're going to hang around for the timer flirt, though, which is, after a bit of a slow start, maybe not super recommended, but no, they're just going to take a reject and step out to the blue bookcase real quick. Are we actually going to see some bookcase shenaniganry? No, it's just going to be a print, which is, that was a very quick pull from that bookcase.
Yeah, I think it might have been not illegal, but very rare to see that quick of a pull. But the main thing here is that, you know, this is a bit more of that aggressive flirting. Skrewwl00se went and got that print, didn't bother timer flirting and then getting it. That would be a much slower prospect. Instead, we do reset that flirt, we go back, which looks a little bit worse if we're being paid attention to, obviously, but it's not that big of a deal, and we do finish off here as our ST does again join us, so some good luck coming our way from Skrewwl00se, and we have this book out. Now,
so yeah, that's a nice little sequence there. Gets the flirt done, gets the contact done. Blue book in hand. It looks like we're going to try to slam this in green, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the ambassadors, like, I would have liked us to be at green right now if we're gonna do it, but you know, with the ambassador moving around, like, it was in a really tough spot there for Hunu, so we might have been able to get away with that without the attention being on us. But now, you know, this was a printable book, right? A printable book is something that the sniper is going to be a lot more attuned to and, you know, aware that you have if they are on top of the print as well. So that can be a lot more difficult to get away with, but no reaction so far.
That's the transfer microfilm done on a hard transfer on Ballroom. Usually people
is the ambassador going to take a drink here?
That super easily.
Ambassador
usually people don't try.
Does not take a drink. Skrew's not happy to see the fact the ambassador did not take a drink here. Because we're looking for another print,
a bit of a shame.
But, you know, we've got so little time, and the ambassador is not being, you know, not being forced to move by anyone. Tex is not in range to do that, so it might have to be a bug. We could have taken that bug. Wait, what? No, this is so much worse. This is
incredibly illegal. The print comes off.
Skrewwl00se? He's just standing there. I'm so confused.
I don't think he knows.
What?
What is happening? What? I don't.
See, the worst thing about this is that this bug from this angle is completely invisible. Why? I mean, I know you have the one print and you want to do prints to finish that out, and you don't want to do a hardtail. But given the angle of the sniper here, the bug is just so much less risky.
Like. Taking that briefcase was basically just an extremely long bug.
Yeah, you're right, Toby. That was like, I'm doing a hardtail for 10 seconds straight during mission win countdown, and Hunu, I think, must have been distracted by, like, a chain or something from Toby.
In all seriousness, it's not that bad, because, like, if you're not aware that the briefcase is there and missed it being picked up, then as soon as he grabs that briefcase, he's... Well, I mean...
then he stands there. He just sort of stood there for 10 seconds. I don't know what to say, Tobo. I think that Hunu was just a little too distracted, and I think this was a very dubious decision by Skrewwl00se to take this as our last mission, and in a lot of games we would be losing because of that fact. But in this case, I think that perhaps there was a chain for Toby. Yeah, there was a highlight. Yeah, one. Yeah, so Twin as a highlight had just rejected Purloin at the end of that game, and I think that may have saved us.
What a weird game. All right, 6-1.
Yeah, Skrewwl00se has confirmed at least a draw, and at this point, very likely a win. Running up the score.
Hunu on Spy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Hunu on Spy. Skrewwl00se on Sniper. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Takes control in it. Is it going to be the early flirt? Toby, get out of the way!
He's trying. He's trying real hard.
We get it! 51%!
Does get the early flirt off for 51%. Hit the green test on it as well.
That's
what you like. Please don't stand here any longer. Thank you very much.
We have more flirt than we had with 1 minute on the clock on our library game.
All right. In conversation with the double agent now. Although, to be fair, the library game wasn't entirely Hunu's fault.
I mean, we had a little bit of unfortunate times with our ST, of course, but at the same time, Hunu was being quite passive. So it's a little mix of both, you know?
And it wasn't entirely Hunu's fault. Anything with the drink? Nope. Just gonna hang out here and let the clock tick.
I know it's stereotypical of me to ask if we can do a bug here, but I'd like to say like a trigger bug in this conversation, turn around, walk, and kind of wrong arm the conversation. Oh, it's a red test contact!
Oh no! Sometimes you cough. It's okay.
That was visible. That was just visible behind Kane's head, but I don't know.
Going to easily see that.
But Ambassador comes to us and we get the standing bug.
That was nice. Thank you, Ambassador. That was a big pickup. There was a frickin' pole in the way. A beautiful little bug, and that may well bail Hunu out here.
Yeah, we only had 3 lowlights for that cough. 3 lowlights and we didn't pick up the highlight. That's absolutely huge given the fact that we ended up with a bug in the wake.
Yeah, that's massive. 85% on the flirt after the second one comes up white. Minute and 45 still to play. I'd like to see a contact or a statue visit or some sort of progress in between these flirts, but it really looks right now like we're just going to try to get a timer flirt.
Yeah, that is... I mean, if we wanted to do statues, I would have asked that we do it now and not timer flirt. You know, just go to statues now at like 1:45, come back, get the last flirt, do the contact, and then you're in mission 1 countdown with what is likely a clean bug. But our ST walks away from us, and we are immediately punished for the timer flirt.
Yeah, indeed. It's not a good situation. Minute and 5.
Double agent's helping us out, though.
Right now. We've got the bug, we've got 2 flirts, and that's it. Luckily, the double agent has dropped in to say hi, so we do have the contact available here.
We're ignoring Toby.
Toby is a problem. Toby is a problem. All right, there's the reject. We've got the contact off as well. 45 seconds left to play. We're tight on time again, and we still don't have this flirt done.
Oh no! Is it gonna be flirt again? Is this what we are doing?
Why are we in
Turbo?
Conversation? Why did we stop here?
If honestly, I wouldn't mind it if we have Toby nearby, because this is a pretty good spot to purloin given Skrewwl00se's angle. We've got that big conversation in front of us. We might be able to get away with that, but now this is much worse.
The beep beeps. All right, there's the flirt getting done. But we could have gotten the mission in between there. We could have gone to statues. We could have gone to a bookcase.
Yeah, we're requesting Toby.
Here we go. 10 seconds. It's going to be overtime. We may have waited too long. There's the take. It is green, so this is going to hang.
Yeah, we'll see if Skrewwl00se is on
top. We get a reject.
A reject from Twin as well. That's huge. And that's before it hangs.
Really big.
If that reject had come off just a little bit later... Who's got... Wait! Sorry, get shot.
Took the white shot. Why would you take the white shot?
Sorry was that window. I think that he thought it was a green time ad hang.
Oh, he thought it was a green time ad hang.
Wow, and Hunu, it comes down to the wire, but the AIs help Hunu out. We had 2 potential shots that weren't us in that chain. 2 very reasonable shots, because Twin had it before the hang, which means that if it's hanging because of Purloin, Twin could have reasonably done it. If Twin rejected after the clock hit 0, it can't be Twin. But we also had Sorry at Windows time adding, then taking. That is a stroke of luck for Hunu, keeping him in the set.
That is true. Hunu kind of got bailed out there. He was pretty much dead to rights.
Well, we did have to clean bugs, so we weren't really a big suspect, but the time was the problem there. You know, the problem was not that we were dead to rights because Skrewwl00se is, like, safetying off on us and we're the top suspect.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the time, really, to make a good finish happen. But luckily, the party gave us a good finish. Very nice.
Well, that's kind of been the story of Hunu this match. Just not getting things done quickly enough to be able to have a smooth ending. This time it worked out, but it really, in almost any other situation, that would have been game, set, match. That said, Hunu does manage to survive another day,
And now you have to
and
snipe
they still
Aquarium.
have a shot at this. It's only 4 games. That's doable.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen people go on 4-game streaks already twice tonight, Tobo. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Doable.
It's going to take a bit of a turnaround. but
Doable
this
is an understatement.
Absolutely doable.
Let's go. On to Aquarium.
Let's go indeed. Hunu on the sniper, Skrewwl00se on the spy. It's Shark Town in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Whoa. Okay. It's fine. It's just one of those mistake low lights that they correct. The worst, though, is when you get that Oh, it's a red test.
That's unfortunate.
The worst, though, is when they make those mistake low lights and then don't correct them and don't realize that they're there. But Hunu understands the mistake. Unfortunately for Skrewwl00se, the red test is a little rough.
I remember Drawn Onward back in the day would always say, if he ever accidentally lowlights someone at the start of the game, he just leaves it there because it was probably correct anyways.
Statistically speaking, sure. But the amount of times you're incorrect, you're always going to lose the game, right?
True.
How valuable is that low light to winning the game, comparatively?
Yeah. But, Drawn Onward has always been a bit of a chaotic.
Oh, I am very well aware. I've good friends with Drawn.
So we've gotten that first print off of the briefcase. We've gotten 34% on the flirt just here.
We have a bug potentially with the Ambassador here. We walk behind Shark. We're a little bit faster than Shark, though, so I think that we were there a little bit too fast. But was Hunu watching? Was Hunu not watching?
A little bit too fast, sure, but...
And wait, we're going to have prints done in about a second here, taking this briefcase, and then all we have to do is flirt. Screw is not even a highlight.
This is such a fast game. There's the second print done.
Pick up the highlight, but do you shoot a highlight, for prints or just a couple more flirts? Like this is the time where timer flirting completely fine. That's all we need to do.
That's a good finish on the briefcase as well. Most spies would just hand it off in a situation like that. It was a good reposition. There's the second flirt, brings up to 65%.
65% is the worst percent.
It is. 65 is very, very sad if you hit a white test.
Yeah.
Any white test. You're not going to be able to get it. But we've got 2 minutes to play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Skrew's green rate so far has, these clutch greens to get that last flirt. We saw that once on Library. Oh, RSD leaves, though.
This was such a strong start to this game. Like, yes, the bug was just a little bit ahead of the Shark, but after that, the prints, it's just been real pretty.
Yeah, very, very nice from Skrewwl00se here so far, and I don't think we ever lose this game. It's so hard to see a loss here.
Well, if we wait for too clean of a flirt, we might. We're down to 1:10 already, and though the seduction target has been putzing around in the back, we haven't had
they have a drink now.
Desire to chase.
They have a drink now, and that means that they can't do statues or, statues or bookcase, which is very important for us. They're very likely to do a conversation. Oh, no.
Get out of there.
No. Oh, no. Okay, I think we were seeing enough that it's not credited bug, but we might die because of that ambassador. That would be tragic.
It certainly would be.
It's a green test.
There's the last flirt getting done. I don't think Hunu has any intention to take this shot. Skrewwl00se has played a really very mostly nice set here. There have been some moments, to be sure, but Skrewwl00se is able to get this done in fairly commanding fashion over Hunu, 7-2, the final scoreline.
It's possible that, sometimes the shark is a little misaligned on the replay.
That's true.
So it is potentially possible that this was a better bug than we were led to believe by the replay itself. Maybe this was better looking live, but I can't say that for certainty. But if it was, then, maybe that's why Hunu didn't see it. Because if I think if it appeared as it did on our replay, that's a little bit of a worse miss. Comparatively, if it's actually fully behind the shark, you just have to realize, hey, wait a second, Irish just teleported to like a different conversation.
Like it was still more than good enough that you're not going to be able to see the hand, but the path was ugly.
Yeah,
if you were paying attention to it.
Well, those are our sets. Skrewwl00se winning it 7-2, very commanding play from Skrewwl00se, especially on the spy side. It felt very strong. On the sniper side, we did see, obviously Skrewwl00se was playing well on the sniper side too, but I think Hunu's spy was maybe a little bit under Hunu's regular performance this set in terms of spy play.
And that could very easily just come down to nerves.
Nerves, a little bit of bad luck, here and there, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, a good set of matches. Thanks a ton for everybody involved. Thanks a ton for everybody who came out to watch tonight as well. It's been a pleasure. If this is your first time seeing this whole situation by chance, this game is SpyParty. You just had a good look at it, so you know more or less what it is. You can get it for $25 on Steam or at SpyParty.com. If you've been playing SpyParty and are interested in getting into some more competitive games, drop by the Discord. There's always tournaments happening, and the SCL in particular is a great place to go if you want to make sure you're competing against people of more or less your caliber. So drop by if you're interested. If people are really nice, I promise you will have a great time.
Yeah, that's going to be at discord.gg/SpyParty.
And that is going to do it for us tonight. Thanks a ton once more from me to Boshi and him, Opie writes, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.